Welcome to podcast number 13. Today we are talking all about the atmosphere in our homes. What atmosphere in particular are you, as a mother, a wife, having in your home? Are you setting up an atmosphere that makes all those that are with you feel at peace? Do they feel welcome? Do you even feel at peace? Or do you have unrest in your mind and heart? Are there little quibbles all the time? Today, we are talking about the importance of atmosphere. Join me today. Hey, this is Dr. Monique Adu, a pediatrician turned homeschool mom and keeper of my home. Welcome to my podcast, Sustainable Living for the Family, Health, and Home. In this podcast, we are going to be talking about all things sustainability and always striving to live our best in terms of the life-giving practices that we can do to build longevity and to fulfill our purpose in life. We are going to be talking about things concerning our family, home, gardening, homeschooling, health, nutrition, and so much more. I'm so glad you're here. Now, our atmosphere is what permeates through our home. It is what helps to shape the goings and comings of our day and our routine. And our atmosphere sets up the paths and just sets up the rhythms and routines within the four walls of our home. It is particularly important when we have our children with us because they are a witness to the atmosphere that we set up for them every single day. Do they feel like you are ready to answer questions that they have? Do they feel that you are welcoming and accepting? Are you displaying the character that Yeshua had when he reminded us that we should allow the children to come unto us? Are we remembering this even when we're having a bad day? Or are we letting our bad day and our difficulties and our stresses permeate into the fiber of our children, our husbands, and just our family in general? Setting up an atmosphere of peace, of joy, of welcome, patience, kindness, honestly, the fruits of the Spirit, setting up an atmosphere that reminds us all of the fruits of the Spirit. It is what all of us should have within our homes. And we should all try what we can do to make sure that that is the atmosphere that we are living in and that it is the atmosphere that our families are of witness to. In order to do this, we must have that direct line and communication with the one that brings that peace and joy. So we must always make sure that we are in the word of the Father and that we are praying to him and seeking him for wisdom and counsel. This peaceful atmosphere, this purposeful type of living can never, ever come from the world. So, in light of this, if we want to have this atmosphere of peace, then most of our time and most of our energies should be spent in places that build that type of atmosphere up and that encourage it. So, what are we looking at throughout our day that's feeding our mind and our soul? What are we reading? What are we giving our attention to on our phones? What are we just scrolling through on those phones? Is it helping us to set up that atmosphere of peace and joy? Or is it encouraging an atmosphere of envy, unrest, little peace, little joy, a mind always seeking for more, and a mind of discontent? Is what we are bringing into our lives ruining, honestly, the atmosphere of our homes? As mothers, I think sometimes we don't remember that we are an integral part of our home. We honestly help to bring a cohesiveness to the home and to bring a safety and peace that our children need. In the way that we carry about our day, in the way that we talk to our children, in the way that we talk to our husbands, we are setting up a pattern that can be followed by all of our family members. Because honestly, the mother is so very important, as she should be the guardian in terms of what's coming in and out of the home. And she should be the one that sets that peaceful rhythm. And she should be the one that is a helpmate to her husband and provides for him that peace that will help him to lead and walk in his own mission. She is integral to this. The husband, of course, is integral in his own way too, as the main provider, the leader. He is to love his wife just as Yeshua loved the church, and he is to help to lead his family in the right paths. He is to be an example and a reflection of the Father to his family. And if this is true, then what is it that it must be that we must do as wives and mothers? We must help to support that type of mission and walk for our husband so that he can more easily fulfill that, amongst all the other things that already weigh upon his shoulders. So being purposeful in setting up our atmosphere, being purposeful in what comes into our minds, what comes before our eyes, will help us to set up the proper atmosphere for ourselves, our children, and our families, and our husbands. What atmosphere are we bringing? What fragrance are we bringing into our homes? Is it one of beauty? Is it one that uplifts? Is it one that is welcoming? Or is it one that is always grumpy, complaining, bitter, without peace or joy? Let's choose to set up the proper atmosphere in our homes as we walk before our Father. Let's set up the right atmosphere so that we may be an example for others in our home. I hope this will be helpful for you. Just know that you are not alone in what you are doing as a mother and a wife. Keep on pushing forward and keep the attitude of peace, joy, contentment, and that atmosphere that your family really needs. from you. Until next time, do all you can to be more and more sustainable and be blessed.
Thank you so much for listening and joining me in on this podcast. Please leave a review below so that others can hear about a podcast that you have found value in and enjoy. You can follow me on my website at www.drmoniqueadu.com, as well as my YouTube channel, Sustainable Living for Family, Health, and Home.